Hey everyone, how about here? Bringing a video on Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle. In this video, we're going to be doing a global LR tier list. This is going to be the Golden Week edition. So with that, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and dive right in. And I know I'm a little bit premature on making this tier list because possibly the Part 2 Golden Week LR might make this list, and I'm gonna have to update it, which is fine, no problem to go ahead and do that. But this is in a sense part 1 to Golden Week, and I probably should make a note of that. And it's been a while since I've made this type of list, so I figured I could do it now. I kind of wanted something to do, and the last time I did a LR global tier list, it was back in Worldwide Celebration. So September of 2023 was the last time I did this, and this was the list back then. A lot, of course, has changed. Some of these units are now off the board. Some of these units are now mixed in different spots. And there's a lot to really take account for, because really how I do rank LRs, I don't just rank them by end game, right? I do look at the start of the game, mid game, and end game. I look at the passives. I look at the special skills. I do want to make sure, they can lead a team that can actually complete parts of the game, especially end game. And if they can't, but they're really good in the passive, and namely, you probably know what I'm talking, or who I'm talking about, it's going to be ranked a little bit lower, right? Of course, we got to make sure that has a lot of categories, good super attacks, link stats, all that good stuff, right? So again, not just end game here. I'm looking at start of the game, mid game, and end game as an important piece when it comes to this list here. So now, of course, with the new Ultimate Red Zone for both versions of the game, JP and Global, AoE becomes a little bit more important. And I did just kind of brush it off because really just one unit in Merzumasu was like the hardest unit and enemy in the game. But now we got other people to deal with, so I am taking a little bit more of a consideration when it comes to this global tier list here. So let's go ahead and dive right into it, starting with two honorable mentions that won't make it to the list, but they're very close. I could have easily put them on the list here, but and that's going to be LR Dokkan Festival exclusive Super Saiyan 4 Goku and the Carnival Super Saiyan Goku, right, with Goku and then everyone else, but it's just Super Saiyan Goku. These two units are actually very good. It's just that I think there's 10 more units, technically actually going to be 11 more units, more valuable and better overall, due to the fact that LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, he's good on his team, but if you put it on other people's team, you're really locked in that first position, and you really can't move it around, generally speaking, right? Especially in the beginning of the game. So he does have limitations, and I don't know, I once he becomes full power, of course he's amazing, but getting there is a little bit of a journey. Again, he's very good. I know some of you probably have him in the top 10, but I just have him right at the end there as an honorable mention. And then a lot of people don't really talk too much about the LR Goku. LR Goku, he's Battle of Wits, and you're going to see a lot of Battle of Wits units on top of this list here, and making him a very, very valuable leader. If you were starting the game and you had him as the leader, you can actually create a bunch of different combinations if you have the right Battle of Wits units, and there's a ton out there that's really, really good. So he's more of a support leader, but the reason why he's not up higher is because, yes, his defense isn't really that good. AoE can mess him up. He's more, again, like a support unit, but I think it is a strong honorable mention that you do remember LR Goku as a very, very good LR. Now let's go ahead and start moving into the top 10, which again is kind of be like a top 11. That's why I said 11 units better than these two here. And that's going to be starting with LR Spirit Bomb Z and then LR Super Saiyan Trunks Future, right? So these two units here are very similar to each other. I think Trunks is going to outperform a little bit more, but the leader skill of the Spirit Bomb Z is just absolutely amazing. Power of Wishes and Final Trump card is outstanding. If this unit wasn't a stacking unit, right, a unit that has to build up and build up, and both of these have to build up and build up, this will be much higher in the list. But because it has to build up, we have to deal with the AoE, which is more relevant in my thought process now. But still, if you talk about like beginning of the game or mid game, these two units are very valuable. They're on a lot of different teams. It can support a lot of different teams as well as a strong floater or even main unit rotation. So I think they're still very relevant today. They're very useful, but unfortunately just low on the list based off of their non-ability in turn 1, right? So let's go ahead and then now move on to number 9, which I would say a lot of people here would probably move them higher because the Super Saiyan's leader skill is like one of the top right now, especially on the global version of the game. But that leader skill is a little bit, less valued because you have the Dokkan Festival exclusive Vegeta, and Big Bang Vegeta is so amazing. You're generally going to use him as a leader much more than this unit here as a leader, but he is just incredible damage output, right? Not really much of a first position unit, but can still, tank certain situations. But AoE can be a problem here because you do want to make sure you do super attack, and you can build up, you can kind of mini stack as well. So, but the damage output is just so good, you have to put him in the top 10. And that leader skill, even though it is less valued because you have another top tier unit that does run that, I think it's, number 9 is the right spot. Again, I think some people might put this a lot higher, but you'll kind of see why I have this unit here, down here below. So coming in at number 8, probably no surprise, but a surprise that she's this low, and that is going to be LR Bulma. So LR Bulma, a lot of people have her higher up due to the fact that her passive is just absolutely amazing, which we know that. She's a incredible support unit, we know that, but she's on not that many categories, right? She's on 6 or 7 categories that's relevant to the game, and she doesn't lead anybody, right? So if you just got her at the beginning of the game, so you had her at the beginning of the game, her value is very, very low. Her 150% leader skill to, what does she even lead here? I gotta look here. She Dragon Ball Seekers and DB Saga. I'm sorry to say, right? You're not gonna do much end game. Whereas like Super Saiyans or Final Trump Card and Power of Wishes and even Time Travelers, right? Those are very, very solid, right? And generally you're gonna be running those teams way more than an LR Bulma led team. But again, we don't see her just as a leader, we see her as an incredible support and utility unit, and that's still why she's in the 8th spot. So coming in number 7 and 6, unfortunately, right, these 2 units were the top 2 units not that long ago, but has been driven down lower and lower and lower, given the fact that the new units that we've received in Golden Week and on Global, we have the Hirudegarn and the Super Saiyan 3 Goku, and so all these other units that have been coming about, right? We have the Vegeta as well. None of them are on these 2 team leaders, but these 2 teams are still incredible. Power of Wishes, Battle of Fate is absolutely amazing, and then Future Saga is still really good. But the relevancy, the value. So again, if you were to start the game, right, its value was top tier, was the best option you can run. Especially for this Spirit Bomb GT unit, right? That was a top tier, probably the best leader skill in the game. But right now, not so much, right? Not so much. We're really kind of surrounding ourselves with the Buu Saga and things like that. And when I do make my best teams, you're going to see a lot of differences when it comes to that as well. Golden Week did make a lot of differences when it comes to the overall best teams, in my opinion, right? So coming in at number 7 and number 6, number 7 being the LR Future Gohan, again, incredible unit, has the domain, very good, still really solid, better second position unit, but still can run first position. Yes, I know Spirit Bomb GT, that unit is awful in the AoE, but if you just get past that, he can just do his super attacks, he's good to go, right? So when he gets that 50% damage mitigation, he's fine. He's going to be great the rest of the fight. So everything else except for that, the GT unit, LR Spirit Bomb GT is, A class, all right? So we know that, but hey, that's why I did drop him down a little bit. So coming in at number 4 and 5 are the Worldwide Celebration units. So now I think these units have caught up to the 8-year anniversary unit and then the Worldwide Celebration Gohan, given the fact that you got a lot of different units that you can run on their teams, especially on the Murzumasu. You can even probably put Murzumasu above LR Vegeta Blue. They're both in a sense first position units, first turn units that can deal with the AoE, right? Especially if you have them in first position. And then that 150% leader skill is still so good to, yeah, if you're starting the game off, you probably would want LR Vegeta Blue as the first unit you get, because you can just pretty much build around that. And even though if it doesn't even coordinate, you have 150% to all superclass units, you can do a lot of content, right? So that leader skill is very, very, very valuable. But when it comes to its main leader skill, it's more for the top tier units. They run at the 170% level versus the 200% level. Merzumasu, on the other hand, you got all the Boo upgrades, right? The Boo upgrades is pretty incredible for that team, and the unit in of itself is a strong unit overall. It was a top tier unit. It actually was ranked lower, right? Did I have them ranked lower? Let me kind of go ahead and look back here on the old tier list here. Actually, okay. Yeah, I have Merzumasu above Vegeta Blue. I think Vegeta Blue, again, has a little bit more utility now, but let me kind of go back onto the list here. So here we go. So anyway, you can kind of flip-flop either one of them. You can have Vegeta Blue at 4 or 5, and Merzumasu there. Again, they both came out at the same time, and you can kind of flip-flop that. So coming in at number 3 is, oh, actually, I have the whole thing now. So basically, these 3 are just a cut above the rest. LR Piccolo has been the best aged LR probably since LR Int Patara Leader Super Vegito, right? That guy was like #1 for a very, very long time, and then kind of fell off, after a while, but was like the champion for a long time, way back in the day. LR OP has just been OP, and he's getting better. He's getting more valuable. He's getting more useful. And kind of going back to that honorable mention in the LR Go crew, his secondary leader skill, right? He has superheroes, which we know it's incredible, but he has Battle of Wits. And Battle of Wits, there's a #1 unit here in the EZA to Super Vegito. The STR one, not the Int one, right, is just, it's insane, the team that you can build from all that. So LROP is just LROP. It has been OP. He's jumped the list, right, because now his value is more impressive, because you want to run the Super Vegito, and you do want to run these other Battle of Wits types of units, and he's just incredibly strong. So, and having 2 LROPs on a team is kind of a cheat code for endgame. So coming number 3, he jumped the list, is LROP. Coming number 2 is the LR Buhan. LR Buhan, probably as a standalone, is better than Super Vegito, but I think Super Vegito with 180% Buu Saga is high value. And I would say, finally we have, there's probably 2 180% leads that are very good, that can run a really strong overall team, and that's probably Kamehameha and the AGL Gohan. Of course, not first turn, but he can build up. But Kamehameha is really strong. But then Majin Buu Saga, man, the amount of units you could run, and even at 180%, when you have 2 Super Vegetos, yeah, you're set. Once you're able to transform with both of them, if you can transform with both of them, you're just not gonna die. And the Buhan, speaking of not dying, when you're building up a full Majin Power team, the regeneration on that is just absolutely crazy. So yeah, right now Global is on that Majin Buu run here, right before the anniversary, right? We have just a little bit of celebration, one more celebration left before we get into 8-year anniversary or 9-year anniversary. And the 9-year anniversary is just going to be just outstanding. It's going to totally change here. But the big question, right? Big question is, oh, by the way, if you disagree with this list, I think the only thing you guys can probably flip-flop would be this, right? Would be 4 and 5 and 6 and 7. I was going back and forth in this because of the leader skills and with positioning, but for what it is right now in Golden Week, 6 and 7, right? The Gohan and the GT unit is just not as relevant because not a lot of the new units you're running on that team. That's kind of why I put them down a little bit lower. But anyway, so the question, right, then becomes the Part 2 LR. Is it going to be Bulma-esque? Is it going to be Kid Buu with a crazy support structure? Or is it just going to be a throwaway unit that, you know, you kind of don't want, like a Omega Shenron or something like that? We're hoping for, you know, the former, and we're hoping for it's going to be a very, very good unit. I'm going to have to adjust this list here, but this is pretty much my list here. And if you want to expand a little bit more, this is like the top 14 LRs on global right now, and how I would rank them. And that 10th spot is just like a cluster of like, I don't know, I can't even decide. They're all like, has its pros and its cons. So I just kept them there. I just had to make the decision on which two I was going to put in number 10 spot. But I think the rest is a pretty strong position, right? I think the rest is in pretty strong position here. I think, you know, some of you guys could put the LR Super Saiyans, you know, maybe higher. If you were to probably move it higher, you probably have to leapfrog everybody and just put them here at the number 4 spot, or going to be in the number 9 spot. The reason, again, with the number 9 spot is a little bit more with the defensive mechanics, and it's less, I would say, beneficial because generally you're just going to be running the Vegeta as the leader for a Super Saiyan team, right? So anyway, that was just the thought I had there. But Bulma will hopefully, if she had more categories, it should be higher. But I think ultimately I like the rest of the list here. I'm just rambling on here. Just let me know in the comment section below if you agree or disagree with me. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video here, and let me know your thoughts and how you would rank your top 10 LRs. So with that, if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, comment below, do all that good stuff. Thank you all for watching. Keep on Dokkaning. We'll catch you next time. Later.